The porcelain mug slipped from Lena's grasp, crashing onto the wooden floor in a spray of jagged pieces and lukewarm coffee. Her eyes went wide, lips parting in a breathless gasp, as though my words had cut straight through her chest. "Practicing for when you're gone," I said again, quiet, laced with venom, each syllable heavy with the weight of months spent peeling back her lies. The cramped kitchen seemed to close in, the air dense and suffocating. Only the soft hum of the refrigerator dared to disturb the silence. It had all begun with a text, nothing overtly suspicious at first, just a name, Elliot, lighting up her phone at 2 a.m. while she slept, her face lit by the glow of the screen. I'd brushed it off, convincing myself he was a co-worker, a friend, a nobody. But the name lingered, like a splinter under my skin. Over the following weeks, it appeared again and again. "Elliot, meet me at 7 o'clock. Elliot, you free tonight?" Each message was a pinprick, small enough to ignore, sharp enough to fester. I hadn't confronted her then. I told myself I was being paranoid, that love doesn't breed suspicion. But love, I've learned, can blind you until the truth is screaming in your face. Lena's hands trembled as she crouched to gather the shards, her breath catching. "James, what are you talking about?" Her voice was soft, pleading, but beneath it, a tremor betrayed her. I leaned against the counter, arms folded, heart pounding like a war drum. The kitchen smelled of burnt toast and her lavender perfume, a scent that once comforted me, now clinging like a lie. "Don't," I said, my tone flat, final. "Don't pretend." I saw the messages. I saw the pictures. Her head jerked up, her face draining of color. The photos weren't explicit, not evidence for a courtroom, but they were intimate. Her and Elliot at a dimly lit bar, her hand resting on his arm, her smile too warm, too unguarded. Another of them in a park, her head tilted against his shoulder, autumn leaves framing them like a romantic postcard. I'd found them hidden deep in a secret folder on her phone, a digital vault she never thought I'd unlock. But suspicion is a relentless thief. It steals sleep, reason, trust. 2 nights ago, with shaking hands, I scrolled through proof of her betrayal. "I can explain," she whispered, her voice nearly lost as she gripped a shard so tightly it drew a thin line of blood. She didn't notice. I did. The sight of it, red against her pale skin, twisted something inside me. A part of me wanted to kneel beside her, to wrap her hand, to pretend this was all a misunderstanding. But the darker, louder part of me wanted to scream, wanted to break more than just a cup. "Then explain," I said, my voice cold, even as I unraveled inside. Doubt clawed at me. What if I'd been wrong? What if I'd turned innocent moments into a story of betrayal? But the signs had been there, the late nights at work, the sudden lock on her phone, the forced laughter whenever we spoke of our future. She'd called it stress. Just stress. But the truth had been clawing its way up, and now it stood before me, raw and undeniable. Lena rose, dropping the shard, tears shining in her eyes. "Elliot's just a friend," she said, steadier now, as though rehearsed. "We've been working on a project together. You know how demanding my job is." Her words sounded plausible, polished, but like a script. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But the way her eyes darted aside, the way her fingers twisted the hem of her sweater, told another story. "A friend." I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound bouncing off the tiled walls. "You don't laugh like that with friends, Lena. You don't hide photos of friends." I stepped closer, my shadow falling across her. She flinched, not from me, I realized, but from the truth I was forcing into the light. "Tell me," I said, my voice cracking despite myself. "When did it start? How long have you been lying?" She shook her head, tears spilling now, streaking her cheeks. "It's not what you think," she said, her voice breaking. "I swear, James. It's not." But her words were fragile, collapsing like a house of cards under the weight of my stare. I wanted to grab her, to shake her, to demand the truth, but my hands stayed clenched at my sides, nails digging into my palms. The pain anchored me, kept me from coming apart. "Then what is it?" I asked, quieter now, almost pleading. "I've spent months convincing myself I'm crazy, that you'd never do this. But I'm not crazy, am I?" My voice rose, trembling with rage and hurt long bottled up. "I trusted you. I built my whole world around you, and you." My words caught, my throat tight with betrayal. Lena sank into a chair, covering her face, sobs shaking her shoulders. The kitchen felt even smaller, the air heavy with coffee and regret. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she whispered, muffled. "He was there when I felt alone. You were always working, always distant. I didn't know how to reach you." Her confession hit like a punch. Not because it was cruel, but because it carried a shard of truth. I had been distant, consumed by work, by the pressure to provide for our plans. But that didn't excuse this. It didn't erase the nights I'd lain awake, wondering why she felt so far even when she was right beside me. So you turned to him? I asked, my voice raw. You let him in. Let him take what was ours. It wasn't like that, she said, looking up, eyes red and desperate. It was a mistake. A moment. I stopped it before it went too far. But her words rang hollow, and we both knew it. A moment was already too much. A moment was everything. The silence stretched, taut and unbearable. I wanted to forgive her, to rewind time, to unsee those photos, to unfeel this pain. But trust, once broken, never mends cleanly. I turned away, my gaze falling on the shattered mug. Pieces scattered like fragments of our life. I need time, I said at last, my voice barely a whisper. I can't do this right now. As I walked out, her sobs followed me, sharp, piercing, but I didn't look back. The door clicked shut, and the cold night air hit my face, carrying a faint scent of rain. I stood there alone, the weight of her betrayal pressing down. Then I heard it, a soft ping from my phone. A message from an unknown number. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. She deserves better. Attached was a photo, Lena and Elliot kissing, time-stamped last night. My knees buckled, the world tilting as the final truth slammed into place. She hadn't stopped. She'd lied even now. The cold wasn't just outside anymore. It had moved inside me, fixed and unyielding. I had been practicing for when she was gone, but she was already someone else's.